Hi everyone. I want to talk to you today about motivation, more specifically when you encounter periods of when you lack motivation. I often talk about the phrase desperation breeds innovation, which I think is so true, in that when I look back at periods of my life, whenever I've achieved anything of note, it's always been when I've had the least resources with which to do it. And I think that's always been drawn from a deep sense of purpose and what I want to achieve in my life. So it makes the decisions automatic, and it gives you a sense of priority in life. So you even if you get to a point where you have to put everything to one side in order to achieve something, you have so little distraction, you have so much focus, because there's nothing else. You don't have the time, the energy, the money, etc. to doing anything other than pursue the thing that you have to achieve in order to get advanced to the next step, if you know what I mean. So it was always quite straightforward for me, but the difficulty with being so motivated is that you might actually achieve what you set out to achieve. The difficulty then is you no longer have a purpose, I suppose, or it's not as clear in your head that what that purpose might be. So that's a situation that I've encountered recently. I'd say over the past few months, really, a lot of things come into place which I didn't know if I'd ever achieve. When I was growing up, it certainly wasn't the expectation that I would achieve anything like that. Coming from sort of where I come from. So it's been a bit of a weird time. It's been a bit difficult to find the motivation. I find the motivation to get out of bed and sort of go through the motions, but it's not what I want. I want to be constantly chasing something. I want a purpose in life. And I think that's the distinction between someone that will achieve something of note with their life and someone that will just be sort of dragged through it, if you see what I mean. So it's very important to me. The last thing I want to do is get older and sort of look back and regret things and think that I've sort of wasted what little time on the earth I have. So it's been something I've thought about for a lot over the past few months, and the way I've been able to deal with it, I would say, is and what I've actually been successful at encouraging other people to do as well, is to think about what's their why, like what's their purpose, and that may change naturally. So, and as I say, if you actually achieve what you set out to originally achieve, that might have to change. So really, you can start by looking at your weaknesses and what things are you unhappy about, I suppose, and don't go out too much about things that you can't change, because there's just, if you physically can't do anything about it. Like, so say if you'd like to be a few inches taller, there's not really anything you're going to be able to do about that, so you can't get hung up on things like that. But things for me, I would say, is pursuing more growth in my influence on social media and things like that. I would say is something that's been a great source of enjoyment for me of the past year. So I've been posting every single week for the whole of 2018. So we're sort of halfway through October now. It's been really rewarding. So that's sort of one thing that I think, I want to actually pursue that more. And one thing is posting videos. Again, like I say, because I think originally I started out posting on LinkedIn because I wanted to sort of find more people that shared my philosophies in life, and more people that are motivated and ambitious and wanted to achieve something. So, and that's exactly what I've been able to achieve with it. So I think I was in a bit of a place where I wasn't around enough people like that. I couldn't find those conversations, and so that sort of served its purpose again. So yeah, I've sort of almost achieved what I set out to achieve. So it's almost like it comes to an end. But in doing so, it just means that you have to look deeper in yourself, and you have to find what are the things that you may be satisfied with, but still hold you back from being truly happy and truly achieving what you want to achieve. So one of the things that I've set myself to do is to post more videos again. So it's something that I still find challenging. It's definitely got a lot better since I started. But what I find is times like you've probably seen now is that I find it difficult to talk fluently on the spot, because I often have so many thoughts going on in the back of my head that I'm trying to sort of communicate keep my mouth's trying to keep up with my brain. And I think that's something that frustrates me. It's good enough, but it's not stopping me from achieving any amazing thing that I set out to achieve, but I think it's always going to frustrate me. So that's something to work on. So a way of doing that is to combine that with what I already do, is post content every week on LinkedIn, but I can film video instead. What I've said to other people is I've sat there and I know a lot of people that suffer quite severely from depression and things like that. Loads of people, and what I always try to do, just as something to try and help them in some way, and what I found to be successful to some extent, is that yes, to keep questioning it. There must be something deep down that you would like to do with your life, and even if you can make those small, tiny efforts consistently, one day you might actually achieve it. And I think sitting here and now today, if I told myself, if I went back to my 12-year-old self and told myself that I would achieve what I have achieved now at age 25, I just wouldn't believe it. I just couldn't picture that I would ever be in the place I am now. But yeah, so I think when you encounter those situations where you think, why am I doing this? What's my motivation? What's my purpose? What am I doing here? Why am I trying to strive for the best, is what I mean. It's easy to give good enough, go through the motions, meet the bare minimum expectations, but why should you trying to achieve the most you can in any given situation and bring that sort of energy, enthusiasm to life and make the most of the time that you have on this earth? It's a old sort of cliche, but life is short. It's very much the reality. So enjoy every waking minute of it. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to sort of wake myself up and reinvigorate myself. But I have to say it is difficult when you feel that you've achieved what you mainly set out to achieve. But if that's my answer to the problem, is to search more deeply and try and find areas that you feel less happy about and less confident with and less enthusiastic about, and try and just push yourself a little bit in that direction, little by little. And ultimately you might find that just building those different areas of your life that you maybe shy away from could lead to some amazing experiences down the road, and could lead to achieving much more than you ever thought you would achieve. So that's the thought that I come away with after the past few months of giving it a lot of thought, to be honest, which hopefully that's something that can be helpful. So there we go again. Hopefully it's something that is helpful to you to consider. But equally, I've built up a great deal of connections and sort of like quite remarkable people in my LinkedIn network, and so it's something I want to put out there and sort of pose the topic, if you like, and see if there's anyone else that has any ideas. Has anyone else faced a situation where you've achieved what you wanted to achieve and you sort of get to that plateau and you think, like, what now? Like you wanted it so badly that you actually achieved it, and then you want to get back into that zone where you're hungry again. I mean, I could go and try and start again somewhere. Maybe I could sort of like try and make myself homeless, or move to a different country or something like that. Maybe to start somewhere from scratch and just build everything from the ground up. Maybe that's the answer. Or maybe take on some wild adventure that I've just never even thought about before. But for now, I'm just focusing on trying to fix the little weaknesses in my life, the little frustrations that I have, and see where that goes. But if anyone else has ever encountered that situation, I'm sure you have. I'm sure lots of people have. Be interested to know what your thoughts are and how you deal with that situation. So look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for listening.